Okay. Blacklight is a new Liam Neeson action thriller from director Mark Williams. Oh, wait, sorry. I meant to say Memory is a new Liam Neeson action thriller from director Martin Campbell. It's about Liam Neeson. He's strolling around. He's a hitman or a guy who does action stuff. And he desperately wants to get back at them, whoever them is. Look, I was thinking about doing reviews for both of these individually, right? I reviewed The Marksman on its own, which was like kind of a bafflingly bad Liam Neeson movie. Liam Neeson is an actor who I greatly respect and I think he's fantastic. But in the past couple years, he's kind of had a string of movies that, not to say that they're bad, it's just that they're a string of movies that are kind of like, hey, it's kind of like a thriller that you would rent and be like, oh, it's kind of enjoyable actually, not too bad, and Liam Neeson does a fine job, mostly directed by Wame Colette-Serra, who's moved on to do Jungle Cruise and Black Adam and all that stuff. And then you'd have like a Walk Among the Tombstones sprinkled in there too. So Liam Neeson has been doing some consistently solid work. And then suddenly it seemed like it kind of started to dip into, oh, this is actually like straight to DVD level, but somehow it made it to the theater. And it seems like it's only happened recently because of the pandemic almost. Like, I remember Cold Pursuit in 2019. That was a good Liam Neeson movie. It's a remake, but, you know, I thought that was a pretty good movie with Liam Neeson in it. If I'm forgetting a 2019 Liam Neeson movie, forgive me. But it just seems like in 2020, we got Honest Thief, which was like, yeah, that came out. I didn't even see that. I was like, it was still like October of 2020, so COVID was still going, and there wasn't really any big drive for me to get back to the movies yet. I had just seen New Mutants, Tenet, and Unhinged, which were like the only ones I really wanted to see in the theater, and I was like, okay, I don't really want to keep coming back right now because, you know, COVID's still a raging. But then I saw The Marksman in February of 2021, and that's where I was like, yeah, they're just releasing bottom-of-the-barrel crap in theaters to get people back. I get how it goes. But then this year, they released these two movies, Blacklight and Memory. That's the two this year. I know he has a Netflix movie. I didn't see his Netflix movie. I'm not counting that one. I'm counting his theatrical movies that have just come out. But I feel like there's something weird going on here, because these are like bad in a way, like I said, Liam Neeson hasn't usually been, you know? It's kind of awkward now, because there I am in the theater for Memory, Blacklight, The Marksman, and I'm surrounded by people I'm sure are fans of Liam Neeson who want to see him kick ass, like, yeah, good old Taken Liam Neeson days, and it doesn't hit the same anymore. It's not even like to the same like passable quality that like some of the weaker Wame Colette-Serra thrillers were, you know? It's just, they're just so fucking bad, but like bad in like a completely different way. I found out that Mark Williams, who directed Blacklight, also directed Honest Thief. And I also found out that the distribution company, Briarcliff Entertainment, that distributed Blacklight, also just did Memory, and also did The Marksman, and also did Honest Thief. I think I need to see Honest Thief to complete the quadrilogy of Liam Neeson Briarcliff movies, because it seems like there must be some kind of deal going on with Liam Neeson, Briarcliff. Briarcliff will, or the production company that works with them, because they're just the distributors, whoever pays Liam Neeson a lot of money. We need Liam Neeson, he's a marketable name, or whatever. We'll pay him a lot of money, do these shitty fucking movies, and then we'll release them, and the suckers who are still Liam Neeson fans will come out in droves. And if they don't come out in droves in the theater, well, hey, it might be a hit on fucking rental. I feel like that there's some kind of thing going on with that. I can't wait for more, apparently, because I'm now trapped in a Briarcliff Liam Neeson cycle. I'm seeing every single one of them. I really do have to go back and watch Honest Thief. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I know it's been a couple weeks since my Sonic 2 movie review. Like, that was April 11th today as I'm recording this, and I'm assuming when the video is coming out, April 29th. That is a full 18 days. Shit, that's literally 2.5 weeks. And I apologize for that. I think I've mentioned it before, and in case I haven't, I get in some weird, like, moods sometimes where my motivation to make videos, I want to, there is a passion to do it, but then there's some days where, like, you know, I wake up and, like, it takes one thing, one minor thing, or one big thing, and just my plans for reviewing something are derailed, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my mood is off. I feel like if I do a video, it's just not going to hit the same, whatever, you know? So I apologize, it's been a while. I do want to talk about some movies that I have seen, like The Northman and Fantastic Beasts X. There are movies I want to talk about that just, you know, I've gotten in my own way at this point. And I was thinking about doing separate reviews for a Blacklight and now Memory, but then I just thought, like, man, Blacklight and Memory are just so interchangeable as far as quality. Not necessarily the plot, because the only difference is Memory has I'm Liam Neeson and I've got Alzheimer's, or, you know, early onset Alzheimer's, and that's the gimmick, you know? And Blacklight has nothing. But aside from, like, that gimmick, you know, Liam Neeson is still, you know, he's a hitman or assassin who kind of gets betrayed, or he finds out something he's not a fan of, and, you know, he goes on the run to try to track down the real bad guys, while some good guys maybe try to pursue him too. Maybe he works with them. It's the same kind of shit, you know, just there is now an Alzheimer's gimmick with Memory. But the thing about Memory is that, to no effect, it's kind of something that you will recognize, like, oh, Liam Neeson's forgetting something in this scene. But it doesn't really come into play, like, actually affects the plot until, like, the third act, where it's like, Liam Neeson, we need you to remember this thing that you did. And he's like, oh, fuck, I can't remember. And it's like this could be a much better movie if they really do play with the, you know, memory. Liam Neeson doesn't specifically remember what he's doing. It seems like the memory thing only comes up when, you know, the team behind this movie finally realize, you know, he should maybe forget something now, you know, maybe have him forget something now. And they kind of range from, like, he wakes up in a cold sweat from a nightmare, and he's like, who are you, to the person he's sleeping with, and, you know, he doesn't remember. And then just he remembers everything else that's going on until, oh shit, now he's forgotten this one little minor thing. You know, it's like, there's no real consistency, and there's nothing really interesting being done about it, or even being said about it. There's, like, I don't give a shit about, like, any of the characters in this. They do a really poor job with both movies with developing characters. I will say, like, there's some performances that I was like, okay, fine. Like, someone from Umbrella Academy who's really talented and really good was in Blacklight, and I thought, she's fine. You know, she's paid to do a job, and she's doing it well. It's not her fault, it's the character. Guy Pearce, he's a pro, so I'm watching him, and I'm like, you know what? It's something, you know, Ray Stevenson is in this movie, which I was surprised to see him, but, you know, it's fine. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the acting is really fucking bad. It's like, it's a combo of, like, it feels like there's mostly just poor direction going on, but then there's parts where, if we can shift some focus to Blacklight as well, something they do worse, forced attempts at humor, where it's like, holy shit, this is so bad. Like, in Blacklight, the thing with that is Liam Neeson is trying to bond with his daughter and her granddaughter with, like, you know, cliche dialogue of, like, you've never been there for me, Dad? Well, I want to be here for you now when you're a mother, and I can take care of your kid, and shit like that. The movie even ends with, like, Liam Neeson telling a really fucking bad joke. It's like, what? Why? What is happening here? So it's just a combination of just whatever was going on with the script, whatever the director was doing, trying to direct them, as well as Liam Neeson seeming like he is sleepwalking through these fucking movies. Like, I really got that sense in Blacklight, but then this, it really just, there's like one point where I just saw him walking up to someone who's like a friend of his, or like his boss, but they're kind of friendly, and, you know, the way he was trying to be like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, pat his, like, belly, and they pat each other's bellies and shit like that. I was like, he doesn't give a single shit. Like, I can see it in his eyes. Like, he is trying so hard to plaster this fake fucking smile on. He does not want to do this. And I don't fucking blame him, because this is, wow. Like, legitimately, like, I have no idea what's happened in the man's career. I don't really know if, like, the self-cancellation thing actually worked, and now he's like, well, I just gotta do fucking anything. Honestly, I don't even think Liam Neeson got canceled. Like, people are like, yeah, that is kind of fucked up, but, you know, at least he's saying, you know, he's learned and he's grown as a person. Like, I don't think it's really one of those things where you can say, like, any opportunities have been stripped from him or anything like that. So other than that, you know, which I barely think has really made an impact. I have no idea what's happening to influence the decisions, but he can't even really give a good performance. It's like very stock Liam Neeson, you know, like you think of, you know, I think that is like a joke. Like think of like a Liam Neeson action movie and you can just picture the performance. That's kind of the vibe I get. Like he doesn't really have to challenge himself or really have to try. He's just, all right, this scene that reminds me of something I did like a couple years ago. Sure, I know how to play this, whatever, let's get this done, you know. And it's really disappointing because I genuinely think he's like a really incredible actor. He's really talented, and to see him be in these movies and it feels like the movie is structured around how he can't pull off these fucking action scenes. It's depressing. It really is. And it's depressing because, you know, personally, you know, you're seeing somebody get older and they can't do the same stuff, but they're still trying. It's like, oh, come on, like, this is sad. But then also depressing because I want to see a good movie. I want to see a good action thriller, and the action sequences are mostly bad. They're mostly like sloppily handled. The editing, especially. Whew, you know, like, they got some really, really choppy shit going on. And I was surprised. Like I said, I didn't see Honest Thief, so I don't know what Mark Williams' direction is like for that. But fucking Martin Campbell, sure, Green Lantern. Everyone talks about Green Lantern. He made Green Lantern. I get it. He made GoldenEye and Casino Royale and The Protege, which I saw last fall. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I can't say it's a good movie. I think it does have some issues, but it entertained me enough. It's a fine little like rent it and you forget about it, but you enjoy it in the moment kind of thing. It's whatever movie. But his direction isn't bad. But I'm watching this movie, and apparently it's a remake of an older film, which is also an adaptation of a book. So you can see why maybe Martin Campbell was leaning towards it, like, oh, an American remake of something that, you know, was highly regarded, or like, yeah, sure, why not? But it, like, the passion that he had, at least for, like, The Protege, does not shine through with this at all. You know, it genuinely feels like Mark Williams came back to direct it, and he got a little better, but not enough. Oh my god, it just doesn't help that no character is interesting. They introduce characters and I don't give a shit about them, and they leave just as quickly. You know, they stay throughout the whole movie and I'm like, I still don't know what your fucking personality or inner thoughts are. Why should I care about this character and like what they're doing? So that already doesn't help, but if you can at least give me something well directed, I could be like, you know what? There's that at least. I can just, you know, turn my brain off and enjoy the vibes of whatever, you know, director is handling these scenes, whatever. And not even that can save it. The scores are also, like, incredibly generic as fuck. And especially in Memory, it gets to a point where, like, it seems like it's too loud and it doesn't really match what is actually happening, but they needed music, so they're like, okay, shit, how about this? All right, perfect. that works. These movies were so similar that I just decided, like, yo, fuck it with the singular reviews. Just do a long-ass ramble about, like, how fucking similar they are. I think I only really prefer Blacklight slightly, because as I mentioned, well, here's the thing also, you know, the irony of Memory is that I saw Blacklight, like, in February. That's 2 months ago. And I don't remember a whole lot about what happened in that, like, plot specifics. But I think Blacklight at least had me a bit more because every once in a while it would do something that was kind of corny bad. Like, oh, you're trying to tell this joke, or he's trying to interact with this, like, granddaughter he has, and it's kind of fucking corny. Okay, you know, bad movie. Bad stuff all around, but, you know, there's at least something that I'm like, I'm not completely bored by, you know, I'm at least interested in some of the bad stuff that's being decided on here, whereas Memory was just like, man, this is just bland and dull, and I don't care. I don't care about the villains, I don't care about the heroes, I don't care about anything that you guys are doing. I was so bored. I literally felt my eyes start to, like, fall down, you know? And I don't usually have that problem. Like, I saw this movie, like, right after a shift at work, right? I have done that before with other movies. I've seen movies, like, later at night when I've been up, like, mostly all day. I don't really have a problem of, like, I'm having trouble staying awake, you know, because of prior activities. It's really only for the movies that just fail to get me invested. It's very rare, but it's for those kind of movies, and that's exactly what Memory did to me just then. I was like, fuck, I could fall asleep right now, wake up when the credits roll, and feel like I didn't miss a single fucking thing. I am sorry that this isn't like a normal style Jackson Fulcher review. I promise I'm gonna try to get back into that. My mood is feeling much better since those past couple weeks, so I'm definitely more driven to do more videos, especially with Doctor Strange coming up, obviously. So forgive me that this is just a long ramble with edits, you know, about two movies you probably haven't even heard of. But goddamn, you know, I'm really depressed. I'm really interested to see where the saga of Briarcliff and Liam Neeson goes, if that even goes anywhere. If this is it, okay, cool. But if this keeps going, I'm gonna have to keep in touch. I'm gonna have to, you know, scour the internet for as much information as I can, because I desperately want to know. Because this is 4 movies in a row since the pandemic started, and it's like, it's still going, you know? I gotta keep in touch with this. I gotta keep you guys updated. So I guess I'll keep you guys informed then. That's right, this is the end of the video. D+ for Blacklight, D for Memory. They're both bad. Some redeeming aspects in the most minor ways. Don't see them. But if you do, alright. Who cares, man? Do whatever you want. Do whatever makes you happy. Even if it means watching a bad movie, because that can also be a happy thing. That's the thing with me. I can see a movie that's bad or good in the theater, but it's still a good thing because I went to the theater and I like to see movies in general. So yeah, even though I didn't like these Liam Neeson movies, I'm glad I went to the theater to see them anyways. It was a fun time. I'd rather do this than anything else. That's the end. I already said that's the end of the video. I'm turning this camera off. Fuck you.